Next. Well, that was awesome. Hey, I died. Yes, game, I died.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it
Stanley
mean?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Mission number 1. Do not die. Got it. And maybe I should listen to the narrator. That might be awesome.
When
Whoa.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, I'll take the door on my left. Make him happy. I'll make him very happy. I'll do whatever the guy tells me to do. And then the story can proceed.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Next one. Come on. Next slide. Next slide. Thank you. Profit. Profit. Everyone unique. You most of all. It's so enlightened. Broom closet. Yay, a broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
But there has to be something here. Fine.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
It's a broom closet. It's a broom closet. There's a broom.
Baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
FA. It's a broom closet with a broom in it.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes, I am.
Standing around doing nothing?
Uh-huh.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
There's a broom in the broom closet. I find that funny. Funny. Laughter. Comedy.
You realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
You gotta be a little more specific with me. I'm a bit
Maybe
slow.
to you, this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Wow. Really? You gonna pull this one on me?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
What?
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
That's creepy.
Anyone who happens to be nearby, the person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and examining on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Okay. I'll step out in the hallway now. But it's a broom closet. There's a broom in it. In the broom closet. I'm leaving.
Second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Second
Coming to
player.
a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I wanna go downstairs. Whoa. Anything awesome in here? Nope, not here.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
I am
All
a
of
bit
my
crazy.
coworkers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a
Spill
single moment
the
for
coffee.
no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
No.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked
Ah!
down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
That is true. Why?
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yeah,
Were they
kinda.
simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last,
Coffee.
he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
Whoa.
I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an
whoa,
explanation.
whoa.
His co-workers weren't actually gone.
That's the
He
same
wasn't
model
going
of
to lose
car.
his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Nope.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll
Whoa.
have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
Coffee.
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
That's an
So,
interesting
he
car.
imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh my god, I'm flying!
Then he imagined
Whee!
himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Whee!
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
What?
One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
Why am I
Why
still...
is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
This is true.
Now the
I didn't
voice
think
was
about this.
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And when he thought
Don't
it
think
all
too much
really
about
odd
that.
and wondered if this
It'll
voice spoke
break
to
your
all
head.
people in their dreams,
It'll just break
the
your
truth
head.
was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be?
Huh?
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley
Whee!
is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now,
There's
hearing
that car
the voice
again.
speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all,
Coffee.
he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
Yeah,
How else
exactly.
would the voice explain all that?
Yeah,
this
exactly.
voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He
Wait.
would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Yes.
So he
This is
closed his
just a
eyes
dream.
gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
We don't have a
All I
wife.
want is my life
Lola.
exactly the way it's always been.
Lola.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
No.
I am okay.
No, you're not. You're honestly not.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
I died. Hooray, I died again. Alright.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Poor Stanley. Poor Stanley. I feel bad for you, Stanley. So does your wife, Lola. Poor Lola. Alright.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Well, that's a different one. Cool. Let's go to the meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, alright. There's nobody.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
Don't
of disbelief,
fired.
Stanley decided to
Got
go
it.
up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
My boss's office. Hello, boss. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, walk out, but, everyone's completely gone and you're gone too. Where'd you go? Hello? No, that was your secretary, I guess. And this is I want
Standing
an
in the
apartment.
manager's
God!
office, Stanley was once again
I want
to discover not an
an
indication
office
of
like
any
this.
human life. Shocked,
I mean-
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
What's...
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no, this is what he was going to do instead.
I will crack this code. Stupid. Alright.
Stanley just sat
Sure.
around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
How can I possibly know that that's the code? That's a lie. It's a lie. Let's put 19.
2845.
2, 8, 4, 1? No. 2, 8, 4, 2? No. 2, 8.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, what did he do?
Oh, awesome. The narrator, he was annoyed with me. Alright. I don't want to go down. Do I have to go down? What's this lead to? Hello? This leads to nowhere. I have to check in a game like this, because you never knew. It's a big old button. Whoa.